So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to measure the voltage and current that happens when you combine two different materials. So we have here on the table a piece of copper, which we are going to put into the tub right here, and the tub represents part of the corrosion cell. In order to have a corrosion cell, you have to have four components. You need an anode, a cathode, an electrolyte, which is represented by the water, and a metallic path. You have to connect them. And so what we're now going to do is we have two materials. We have, as I said, copper and black iron. Matt, you want to go ahead and put that into the tub? And then what we're going to do is we're going to measure the voltage between these two. So now what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate that if we have a piece of copper pipe and a piece of iron pipe, if we connect them, what happens? If you remember, the battery had 1.5 volts of voltage difference. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect, and Matt can connect the steel, I'm going to connect the copper, and as you can see, we're measuring 197 millivolts. And even though these are small numbers, they're significant because it tells us that there is a voltage difference between these two materials. And that's what's really interesting, and something that once we measure it, we can now plan for how can we mitigate this corrosion. Now, what we're going to do next is, on this meter, we have an ammeter that measures current. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this side of the meter and measure the current, and we are in the 20 milliamp scale of this meter, and it is reading 11 milliamps. And 11 milliamps of current means that this pipe is, the steel pipe is corroding, because that amount of current is indicative of that corrosion process. And if we, for example, interrupt the circuit, if we break the circuit, the current goes to zero. So you have to have contact between them. You saw that it came right back up to the 11 milliamps. And so with that, we'll jump into the next example of another material and its differences.